Alice in Wonderland and Mean Girls. They don't have much in common, but they're all filled with female icons.
I'm a cool mom. Right, Regina?
Please stop talking.
Okay.
Both of these new collections came out. This is the Profusion Mean Girls collection, and this is the Sigma Alice in Wonderland collection. I polled you guys here on YouTube to see which one you wanted to see first, and Alice in Wonderland beat it out by a little bit. So as I put a look together in my head, I have to say I love Sigma eyeshadows. I really do. This is what the Alice in Wonderland palette looks like, and I have to say I found the Alice in Wonderland palette just to be a little dull, which is surprising because I normally love Sigma's color stories, but there's not really anything in here that is popping out at me. And when I wanted to do a fun and colorful look that I think is worthy of Alice in Wonderland, the Mean Girls palette, however, is a party in a palette. So I thought, why not combine the two? So we are going to combine these two collections today to do something super fun, super colorful, worthy of these two iconic films. I'm going to show you everything in both collections, what's worth it, what's not. So without any further ado, let's dive in. All right, the lids are primed. So for eyeshadow palettes in both collections, as I showed you before, this is the Alice in Wonderland palette. It really is a very beautiful, color story. It's much softer than I anticipated, to be honest. I was expecting much more wild colors for Alice in Wonderland. That's not a bad thing. These are just going to be more user-friendly, everyday. There's a lot of everyday shades in here. And then for the Mean Girls palette, this is super cute. It looks like a yearbook, and this is the palette on the inside. Like I said, this one just stole my heart. It has everything from neutrals to bold colors, foils, glitters. The possibilities with this are endless. And I love Profusion shadows. I've been using them for years. When I got started as a bridal makeup artist and couldn't afford a lot of makeup, I remember I had one Profusion palette that was my ride or die, and it worked great. And then in the Mean Girls collection, we also have these little eyeshadow quad minis. We have the Regina George palette. We have the Gretchen Wieners palette, the Karen Smith palette, and the Caddy Heron palette. Both collections came with brushes. These are the Mean Girls brushes. How mini and cute are these? We have 3 eye brushes and 2 face brushes. We're definitely going to use these. And the Alice in Wonderland collection came with brushes, which Sigma brushes are some of the best brushes on the market. So we have 3 eye brushes, and then we have 2 face brushes. I love, love, love the neck of these. The design of this, these are incredible. This doesn't shock me because it's Sigma brushes. They're absolutely amazing. Now I'm going to do one eye to map it out in my head, and then I'll zoom you guys in and we'll do it together. All right, one eye is done. This is what we came up with. I told you we were getting fun. So we're starting out with the shade Pink Shirt in the Mean Girls palette, and I'm going to stamp this on the inside 50% of the lid. Look at the pigment in these Profusion shadows. Don't worry about being too precise. I just stamp it, and we're gonna soften that edge with a clean brush. All right, now that that's diffused, I'm going into this light blue shade, this matte right here in the Gretchen Wieners palette, and we're gonna stamp this nice and high on the brow bone. Now with the shade Don't Look at Me, this darker blue, we're gonna stamp this on the outside half of the lid, a little bit into the crease, but not as high as that blue we just used. Same thing, switching to a clean brush to diffuse that and soften the edge of that darker blue. Now I'm taking this purple shade called Get In Loser, and we're going to stamp this on the outside lash line, a little bit higher onto the outside half of the lid. Switch back to that blue blending brush and blend it out with that. Now in the Alice in Wonderland palette, this pinky mauve called Cheshire, we are going to take that on the finger and put this right, I would say, a little past 50%, but not all the way to the end because we don't want to cover up that purple. And now I'm taking the brush, I put that purple on and just softening the edge of that to make sure it blends in. And now with the shade Awesome Time in the Mean Girls palette, this one blew me away. We're taking it on a very flat brush like this. I did spray it with a little bit of setting spray, and we're going to kind of carve out the lid with this. This one's definitely the star of the show, but we're just gonna press this on the inside lid. I mean, oh, look at that. I cannot believe how good Profusion shadows are for the price. They are so affordable. Now I'm taking the brush I stamped the pink on and just making sure that that's blended and married in. Now to do this white liner in here, I'm using the City Color Aquatic Fix water activated liner. City Color is so good when it comes to stuff like this. So on a super fine pinched detailed brush, I'm gonna dip into a little water and start activating the color. I'm gonna try to do this on camera, but this could go terribly wrong. All right, that is the white liner. Woo! God, it's like doing brain surgery. Now for wing liner, I'm gonna go in with my Eye Method eyeliner stamp. I love these things. They literally make wing liner so easy. We're just gonna relax the eyes. And they literally just give you the best place to map everything out. And then the actual liner on this is to die for. All right, now in these little minis, this is the Regina George, and we're also going to use the Gretchen Wieners. These like pressed glitters are amazing. Like you can literally dip into them with a brush and they stick obviously to the brush, but then they stick to your eye with no glitter glue, nothing. So we're gonna start with the pink first in the Regina George, and we're gonna start placing these as we have over here with the pink above the pink. And once we're about halfway over like this, we're gonna switch to the Gretchen Wieners one, which is in blue, and start putting these above the blue. Like, how cool is that? No glitter glue. I don't know how they make things like this. It's like so fun. Oh my god. Now for the last step of the eye look, we're gonna take this pressed, like beautiful white silver in the Mean Girls palette called Obsessed With Me. And I'm gonna take a fluffy brush and dip just like that. And it gets a bunch of the little fibers on the brush, and we're literally just going to press this on top of the entire eye look. That way when we're turning our head, just so as the light hits it, it catches and it almost looks like little diamonds on the eye. It's unbelievable. So the Mean Girls collection did come with 4 sets of lashes. We have Katie Heron, Regina George, Gretchen Wieners, and Karen Smith. So just so you can see the cuts a little bit better, I'm going in with Gretchen Wieners because I think it's the most like glam but also natural. The Regina George were way too big and the others were too natural for me. I already have one on my eye here and it looks really beautiful. It went on like a dream. The band is really nice and malleable, went on beautifully. So I'm super impressed so far with everything, especially in the Mean Girls collection. But I'm gonna pop on this other one and then I'll be right back for the next step. All right, another palette that came in the Mean Girls collection is the You Glow Glen Coco. God, that's a tongue twister. And it has a bronzer, blush, and highlighter. And the Alice in Wonderland collection came with this beautiful blush and highlighter. This blush looks stunning. So we're gonna use the bronzer in the Mean Girls collection on this adorable little brush just to punch up our bronzer a bit. Okay, it's adorable, but this is too small. So it's a very light color. I don't know if there's like other colors or you know what I mean, like maybe a darker one, but this is very light. Like it's really not giving a lot of color for me just because I'm a little bit tanner. But it is blending really well. Sometimes I'm nervous with like cheaper complexion brands. The complexion products are just gonna be a little like patchy, but this is blending out very nicely. It's definitely giving me a little bit of dimension. All right, so I just punched up that bronzer with my Sigma bronzer because that one was not dark enough for me, unfortunately, but I am really liking the way the complexion's looking, and I think this blush from the Alice in Wonderland palette is gonna complement these eyes perfectly. Wow. Very, very pigmented. Let's tap that bad boy off and go ahead and start building this up. Oh, that is beautiful. Wow, I don't normally gravitate towards blushes like this that are this almost like very cool tone berry color, but this looks breathtaking. Wow. Wow, that is so, so pretty. It's like the most beautiful mauve-y kind of purple undertone, cool tone that just works so well with this look. Wow, that is beautiful. So we do have 2 highlighters in each palette. I can say the Profusion one in the Mean Girls, it's very chalky, so I don't think we're gonna use that one. This one in the Sigma actually looks really pretty when you blend it in. It looks very subtle. Let's go ahead and highlight the high points of the face. Ooh, wow. You see that? It's really pretty and it is really finely milled. Like if you want a really nice, like natural highlighter, this is gorgeous. It's not glittery at all. It really melts into the skin. It's like my Sigma highlighter that I've fallen in love with recently. Wow, that is gorgeous. All right, now we're gonna finish up the under eyes. I'm gonna go back in the Gretchen Wieners palette and take this lightest blue. Oh, where's my mirror? And we're gonna run this on the lower lash line. And I'm almost gonna connect it to the upper look. And the reason I'm going in with this super light blue first is because I really want to blow this out under the eye. God, that is gorgeous. Now I'm going to dip into the darker matte blue in this palette, and we're going to hug this a little closer to the lash line. Look how beautiful that blue is. I'm telling you guys, these Mean Girls palettes. All right, now that the skin is done, I actually want to take a few more of these glitter hearts we have with the Mean Girls and extend it past the brow here onto the skin, so it's like traveling around the brow. I hope you can see that. Just like that, up and around the brow. Okay, now I'm just gonna throw on a little bottom lash mascara. We'll be ready to do lips, brows, and finish it off. And last but not least, we have 2 lip glosses with the Alice in Wonderland collection. They're so beautiful. This one, oh my God, these shades are so hard to read. So this one here is called Kiss the Tulips, and then we have Singing Violets. We're gonna go in with this one, and I paired it with the NYX lip liner in Ever. And now let's go ahead and put this on. Oh, this is such a pretty gloss. All right, brows are filled. Now I'm gonna set everything with the Milk Hydro Grip setting spray. All right, guys, so that is it. And yeah, final thoughts on both of these collections. I have to say I'm a little bit more impressed with the Mean Girls collection. Obviously, there's more in the collection, but just overall, even the eyeshadow palettes, I just think the quality is kind of on par as far as just blendability and color payoff. And I think for me, what I love about Sigma eyeshadow is that really beautiful foil texture. And there really is only one in the entire palette, the green, and the rest are just mattes and satins, and it's just more of a duller color story. And I just like that with the Mean Girls palette, you're getting so much more variety from neutral all the way to color. I mean, this is like insane, let alone the little quads that you can do, the like hearts and stars. It's just awesome. I do think the blush and highlighter from the Alice in Wonderland collection are like incredible. Here I go putting more blush on when I don't need it. This was super impressive, where I feel like the Mean Girls, the bronzer, blush, and highlighter, this is really, really fair. Like, if this doesn't work on me, I don't know who would work on.
Oh my God, Karen, you can't just ask people why they're white.
The highlighter is really chalky, so I imagine the blush is kind of going to be in the same vein. I also forgot to mention from the Alice in Wonderland collection is this amazing bag. Like, look at this. Stunning. But overall, I'm so happy we got to use everything from both collections so you guys could see how they are and make your own decision. Let me know in the comments down below which collection you liked better, which one you may be entertaining picking up. But I just love how everything performed. The gloss is stunning. I mean, I'm super impressed with both of these, and I had so much fun creating this fun makeup look. As always, guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you are already, hit the little notification bell and you'll be notified every single time I post. I post every single day, and I'm trying to post one long form video a week. It is a lot of work, so please subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. It really, really helps my channel and lets me know you like this style of video. Wherever you guys are, I hope you are happy, safe, and healthy, and I will see you on the next video. Bye, guys.